Hello you guys, James Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy prom season everybody. Today we're gonna be doing a full in-depth prom makeup tutorial. A couple of days ago, I was scrolling down my For You page until I came across this video from Secret User and she said, James Charles, I may need you to make a natural makeup tutorial because my prom is in 2 weeks and WTF is this. I actually think she looks really beautiful already, but this TikTok currently has 9 million views and 1.4 million likes. I commented on this saying, okay, maybe I'll film it. And even my comment has 300,000 thumbs up. So I think it's safe to say that you guys want a natural prom makeup tutorial. And when you ask, I deliver. It's been a while since I had my prom, but I did attend. I was very, very excited about it. It was one of the most special nights of my entire life as a teenager. Unfortunately for me though, this is what I looked like.
What is that?
Yeah, jump scare. So it's safe to say if I could get in a time machine and go back, there are a lot of things that I would have done differently, but luckily I'm here today to tell you guys all the mistakes that I made. We're gonna do a full in-depth prom makeup tutorial telling you guys all the things I wish I would have known back then. Let's get into it. All right, if you guys are excited for the prom do's and don'ts makeup tutorial, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up down below. I know so many of you guys are coming back every single Friday at 12 p.m. PST and watching, but are not actually subscribed. It's rude, it's fake, and if TikTok is gonna be banned again, hello, rest of the world, it's James. You're gonna need to go somewhere for your entertainment. So might as well click that subscribe button, and if you're watching on your television, you could of course always just swipe up on your TV remote and click my little profile picture right down here and subscribe that way. If you have not already, click that notification bell as well. That way you get notification like this every time I upload a brand new video. All right, let's get right into this prom makeup tutorial. But before we put even one single product on my face, we need to talk about the week leading up to prom. Now, hear me out. Don't click off just yet. I promise this is going to be worth your time, okay? I made so many mistakes in my prom that I so wish I could go back and undo. Again, reminder, okay, this is what I looked like. So we're going to make sure that you don't look the same. The number one piece of advice that I need to give you guys is do not take it too seriously. Now I know that that is easier said than done. I know everyone dreams of their perfect prom night, having the best hair, the most beautiful makeup, the perfect dress. Unfortunately for me, I had none of the above, and yet I'm still perfectly fine years later and truthfully have not even thought about that night until it comes time to film videos just like this where I'm pulling up the horrifying photos. You're going to be okay if every single thing does not go absolutely perfectly. Of course, by the end of this tutorial, hopefully we'll get you nice and prepared. But on that note, the other thing I want to say is do not change yourself. Do not go get a spray tan the day before because it might turn out splotchy, orange, or your foundation and makeup products are no longer going to match your skin. Do not dye your hair because if you hate the color, there's not enough time to redo it. If you're dealing with a breakout, I know that that can be super frustrating, but do not go get a facial because if that dermatologist uses one single product that your skin doesn't agree with, it's going to get 10 times worse. If you're doing your hair and makeup yourself, sit down a couple of days early and do the full look. That way, if you love it, you know exactly what to replicate on prom day and you're not stressing out. But if you don't love it, you know exactly what you need to change. Basically, try to get yourself prepared. That way on the actual day, you could sit down, not be rushed, and come out with your makeup looking exactly the way you want to. All that being said, let's get into this natural prom makeup tutorial and I'm gonna show you guys how to look your absolute best. Starting off, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in because we're actually gonna start off today doing our eyeshadow. Now, if you have been a longtime subscriber, you would know that I'm not a huge fan of doing eyes first, but I know a lot of you guys do not wear eyeshadow on a daily basis. Don't worry, I'm gonna keep it simple and easy, but this way, if you make a mistake or you don't like how it turns out, you can easily wipe it off and start over without messing up your entire face routine. The first thing I'm gonna do is grab a little roll of Scotch tape just like this, and I'm gonna grab 2 pieces of tape that are about 1 inch in length. I'm just gonna rip it off just like this. I'm going to use my little fingers and tap the back of the tape so it's not super sticky. And I'm gonna go ahead and place this tape right underneath the corner of my eye. I follow the same angle as my lower lash line going upwards towards the corner of my eyebrow, just like that. And I'm gonna do the same thing again on the other side as well. I'm using this piece of tape as a guide for our eyeliner and eyeshadow. I know a lot of you guys also don't wear a wing on a daily basis. Again, this is not the time for experimentation. So this tape is gonna make it super easy so that both sides are completely even at the same exact angle, and it's gonna make it super sharp as well. One side, two side. Now we can start off with primer. Before we put on any eyeshadows, we wanna make sure that they're gonna have something to stick to. So all I'm gonna grab is my concealer. Today I'll be using Tarte Shape Tape because I know a lot of you guys have that in your makeup collections. And I'm literally just gonna do one dot on both of my eyelids. And then I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out with a fluffy brush, literally all over. I always like to compare doing my makeup to painting. So by putting on that concealer on our eyelids, we have erased any veins, any redness, any discoloration, any dark circles. And now it is a blank canvas for us to paint on top of. Now for the actual eyeshadow, I'm sure a lot of you guys probably already have your go-to favorite makeup palettes, and that is totally fine. But if you're looking for something new, something special for your prom night, I would highly, highly recommend our Painted Basic Canvas palette. This is gonna be the perfect palette for any prom look, no matter what color your eyes are, no matter what color your dress is, because it has every neutral shade available. The top row are all cool tone browns, the middle row are warm tone browns, the third row are your pinks, and the fourth row are your oranges. So this is literally going to work for everybody. The mattes are super, super buttery and pigmented, and the shimmer shades are so stunning. They're going to twinkle in all of your prom photos, and especially under the disco balls on the dance floor. And just because I love you guys and want you to have the most magical special prom possible, if you buy the Basic Canvas palette on the Painted website, painted.co, over the course of the next 2 weeks, when you go to checkout, type in code PROM for a cute little discount, so that way you can get this in your makeup collection that much easier. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in even more so we can get a super detailed tutorial going. Starting off, I'm gonna grab a big round fluffy brush just like this. This is our Painted J13, but any round brush will work. And I'm gonna dip into our transition shade, which is going to be Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough is a light, cool tone brown, and I'm literally just gonna use this shade to add a little bit of dimension into the crease. We're just gonna go back and forth doing little circular motions right across the eyelid. That way we can get a little bit of a natural shadow. Now, if you don't know where your crease is, all you have to do is look directly in the mirror, and your crease is wherever your eyelid naturally folds. So for me, it is right here. And you're gonna be able to feel that as well. It is basically like hugging your eyeball. So again, just grabbing that Cookie Dough shade and doing little circular motions all throughout the crease, and we're gonna overlap the tape as well. Next up, using that same fluffy brush, I'm gonna grab a little bit of a UV Index, which is a slightly darker and slightly warm tone brown shade, but it's still a transition. I'm gonna use this color and I'm gonna focus this in the outer corner just to add a little bit of warmth and a little bit of depth. But then with whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna go right into the crease, same exact place that I put that Cookie Dough shade. Next, I'm gonna grab a fluffy crease brush. This is our Painted J11. If you bought the original James Charles X Morphe brush bundle, the M433 is a very similar shape. And I'm gonna dip into a little bit of oak and a little bit of vintage. I'll tap off any excess because it's easier to add on pigment rather than take it off. I'm just gonna pat this on at first and then start to do little circular and windshield wiper motions to carefully blend it out. Again, it is totally fine if you overlap the tape. It is there for a reason, because we're gonna peel it off later, revealing a perfectly clean line. See how adding that shade in there added just a little bit of depth and dimension in the outer corner to help lift the eyes and pull them outward? That is exactly what we want. And you can see, because the tape is placed here, how that's already starting to form that winged out shadow shape. Before we move on to the next step, I'm gonna grab that first round fluffy crease brush and just go in right over top of that edge to make sure everything is nice and blended out and there are no harsh lines, just like that. So next, what I'm gonna grab is a flat square liner brush. This is our Painted J3, but you guys can see the top edge is completely flat, and we're gonna use this to do our eyeliner. Now I'm gonna dip into a little bit of Treehouse, which is a brown. Of course, if you wear a wing liner every single day and you're comfortable drawing one on, you can always just go in with your black pen and start sketching away. But if you're new to eyeliner, if you're new to makeup, or if you're wanting a more natural look, I think brown is gonna be just as beautiful, but a little bit softer for that more natural makeup look. All I'm gonna do is tap into that shade, tap off any excess, and then holding the brush parallel to my lash line, you guys can see I'm holding it just like this. I'm literally just gonna move my eyelashes away and start wiggling this brush right on my lash line. Try to stay as close to your lash line as you possibly can. You can always make it thicker if you need to, but it's gonna be a lot harder to make it thinner if you go too big too fast. If you have big round eyes, you can go all the way across to your inner corner. If you have almond eyes, like my kind of eye shape, you can go about 3/4 across and stop right at the edge of your pupil, right about here. Or if you have hooded eyes, I would recommend only going 1/4 in. So you can do that outer wing, but stop right about here. That way it doesn't mess up with your eyelid fold. Once you have it stamped across your lash line, then you can go right in on your outer corner and start sketching in the wing, and you can just go right over top of the tape. You don't need to worry about it being super sharp and super precise, because when you take the tape off, it's going to do that work for you. So all I'm doing is just slightly tickling it right above that tape, connecting it back in, and that is going to be the perfect wing. The very last step of this eye look is to add a shimmer to the lid, and luckily the basic canvas palette has so many beautiful ones to choose from, but you're going to make your decision based on the color of jewelry that you're going to be wearing or the color of your dress. Finnegan is a cool tone shimmer, so it's gonna look really good on cooler tone color dresses or silver jewelry. Gold Coast is obviously a vibrant gold color, so that's gonna look best if you're wearing gold jewelry or a warm color dress. Cloud 9, Shams, and Redstone are all pinky shimmers, so if you have a pink dress or if you're wearing rose gold jewelry, these shades are gonna be perfect for you. And then Movie Night and Soul are really beautiful, but are definitely deeper bronzy shimmers. So if you want a darker smoky look, or if you're wearing a brown dress, those are gonna be the perfect shimmers for your lids. Now for me personally, I always like silver jewelry. I don't think that gold looks the best on my skin tone, so I'm gonna use Finnegan, and all I'm gonna do is just grab my little finger and I'm gonna dip right into that shade. These shimmers are super buttery and super reflective, so instead of grabbing a brush, I am literally just gonna go right in and I'm going to pat this shimmer all over my eyelid, just like that. And it literally creates the most beautiful, twinkly eyeshadow look. Look at that, so beautiful. No cut crease necessary, just a soft, twinkly prom eye. Now the very last step, I'm gonna grab that little crease brush one more time, and I'm just gonna go over the edge between that shimmer shadow that I just tapped on and the brown shades from before. That way they are blended out and it doesn't have any harsh lines. And that is literally one eye of this prom look all complete. At this point, I'm gonna grab my piece of tape just like this, and you guys can watch and see as I pull this off, it's going to leave a super sharp, precise wing and eyeshadow look that is ready to hit the prom dance floor. We are back with both eyes completely done. Now let's go ahead and move on to eyelashes. First step is always going to be giving them a gorgeous little curl. I'm gonna go ahead and get the lashes in there and then pump it a couple of times. At this point with lashes, it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. I know some of you guys out there have lash extensions. At this point, you can just comb through them to make sure any powder from the eyeshadow is completely clean, and then you're ready to move on to the next step. If you just want to do mascara, at this point, you can pick up your favorite formula, apply it, and then move on. Or some people might want to wear a false lash. Obviously, most people are not wearing falsies every single day, but I understand wanting to be a little bit more glammed up for prom. So I'm going to show you guys how to apply some simple false lashes just using Ardell Demi Wispies. You can find these at any drugstore. They are very cheap, they are very affordable, and we're going to make them look really nice and luxurious, even though they're only a couple of dollars. Again, depending on the shape and size of your eyes, or even just your personal preference, you're more than welcome to pick up any lash shape or style that you want. I like Demi Wispies because they are shorter in the end, but get longer and spikier on the outsides, and that is going to help lift and pull your eyes outwards. I'm gonna grab my tiny little pair of scissors. See how these eyelashes have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spikes on them? I'm basically going to cut off the final 3. So one cut right there, and then one cut right here. And by pulling off those excess lashes, we have now created 3/4 lashes. These are gonna be super flattering on everybody's eyes because it's gonna give you a little bit of a lash extension look without giving you a full-on thick strip lash that is gonna take away from the natural glam look that you guys want to achieve. Then I'm just gonna grab my lash glue. I really like the Duo brush-on adhesive, and I'm gonna apply a little bit of glue right to the lash band. Then I'm gonna let this sit for a couple of seconds. The glue goes on blue, but starts to turn clear when it's ready to be applied. So you wanna make sure you wait until it's really sticky. That way when you apply it, it actually stays. The last thing you want is to take your prom photos and the lash is glued onto your outer corner, but you could literally see the eyelash like lifting up. It looks so bad, so embarrassing. So make sure it is locked in. Once it's ready to go, I'm gonna hold my mirror below my face. That way I'm looking up beneath my eyelashes, and I'm gonna come from above and place this lash down right onto my lash line. You wanna make sure the outer corner is aligned with the actual outer corner of your eyes. So I always put that on first, and then I go in and adjust the inner corner to make sure that it is actually touching my lash line, just like that. See how easy that was and how that creates that winged out sort of look? And I don't even have mascara on yet. Same thing again, looking from below and sliding that lash down from above, popping it right into place. Also, just a piece of advice, even after doing makeup for 8 years now, I still struggle gluing on my own false eyelashes sometimes. It is really, really challenging. If you're getting ready with your friends, maybe ask one of them to help you out, or your mom might be able to help glue them on for you as well. And there we go. Both lashes are fully glued on. And now we grab our mascara. Now with this mascara wand, I'm actually holding it vertically and I'm just going in and lightly tickling those inner corner lashes because I want to make sure those are nice and coated and lifted. And then with whatever is left on the brush, I'm just going to go in normally and apply the mascara right at the root below the false lash to help blend everything together. It's super, super easy. And by gluing on the fake lash first, we avoid doing 5 or 6 coats of mascara and ending up with chunky, spidery, gross looking lashes. I'm looking at you, Rebecca. See, look at that. That literally looks like I have lash extensions. Like, ooh. So cute. Same thing on the other eye, just getting those inner corner lashes first, and then just wiggling that wand right at the root of the lashes below the falsie to blend everything together. And yes, I know that I just got mascara all over my cheek, okay? It's perfectly fine. This is why it's good that we did the eyes first, because now I can very easily just take a makeup wipe and clean it up without ruining up my entire face of makeup. For right now, those are the eyes all complete. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys back out, and now we will get started on our face routine. All right, let's get started with our face routine today. First, starting off with moisturizer. I'm sure a lot of you guys already have moisturizer in your daily makeup routine, so of course, if you have a favorite, go ahead and apply. But for today, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. It's definitely a little bit more expensive, but skincare is so important underneath your makeup routine. And I know a lot of you Sephora girlies are really maxing out your parents' credit cards. I'm not judging. Okay, I wish that I could have done that when I was a kid, but you're getting the good shit, and this is it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to my face, rubbing this in. If you have any sort of blemishes, texture, dry patches, rough skin, using a moisturizer before your makeup routine is gonna help smooth everything out and make sure that your foundation goes on top as smooth as humanly possible. Then on top, I want you to go in with a sticky primer. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer because I know a lot of you guys have this one. It is super cheap and really, really good. NYX also has their face glue, or Milk has their Hydro Grip Primer if you're interested in that too. I'm just gonna go in and apply this to any areas where I have bigger pores or tend to sweat and get oily throughout the day. This is gonna help the makeup really stick in place and last all night long, especially if you're gonna be taking photos outside, depending on where you live, of course, dancing and sweating and enjoying your night.
Dancing, I know where you live. Some places don't.
Oh my God, I'm talking about like if you live in fucking Florida and you're taking your prom pictures outside, it's gonna be humid and gross. You're gonna sweat your shit off. Versus like if you're going to prom in Alaska, you know, you might not need to worry about your makeup sweating. I'm trying to communicate to my global audience here, people.
Because you are a global superstar.
Thank you, thank you. Now this next step is going to pain me because we're getting to foundation, and you guys know I am a full glam, full makeup type of artist. However, okay, I know that 99% of you guys are not, and the TikTok that went viral specifically requested natural glam. So instead of going in with a full coverage foundation, today I'm actually going to use a skin tint.
Holy shit.
There are a couple of good ones on the market, so if you already have one in your makeup collection, you can go ahead and use that one. For me, I really dislike skin tints. The only one that I have ever found that actually works for me is by Kylie Cosmetics. It is their Skin Tint Blurring Elixir. You know what I just realized? It fully says foundation on the back of this. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a good shake, and I am in the shade 3WN. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt this on my face. I know that I did just use quite a lot of product. Okay, this is my version of natural glam. You guys can see as I start blending into the skin, it is definitely not providing coverage, but it is doing a really nice job of evening everything out, and that is what we are looking for. We're kind of going for that like your skin but better type of a look, and I really do find that this is one of the only skin tints that actually helps achieve that without it like fucking melting off or separating on your face. It is a really, really beautiful formula. I think Kylie ate the shit up. See, like, look at that. It smoothed everything out and looks really nice and even, but doesn't look like full coverage. You can still see my beauty marks, my freckles, any sort of blemishes peeking through. And that is kind of exactly what we are looking for. Like any base product, you wanna make sure you apply a little bit of this to your neck as well. The worst thing that could ever happen to you on your prom day is you take your photos and your face and neck or ears and body are completely separate colors. So even if it's gross, even if you don't normally do this in your daily makeup application, for this special evening, make sure you go ahead and blend all over your face. Now, by the way, if you guys did not notice, I'm currently using our painted oversized sponge to blend in this skin tint. This is literally the best sponge on the market. We just crossed 40,000 sponges sold on TikTok Shop. This has been and still is the #1 best-selling beauty sponge in the world, thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for all of your love and support. If you have not yet tried this out in your makeup routine, it is literally double the size of a regular beauty blender, but half the price. This tiny little thing is $20, and this is literally literally only 10. You should definitely check it out on TikTok Shop or at painted.co. And then any areas that you want to have a little bit more coverage, whether it's blemishes, under eye circles, or just more glam in general, you're gonna do it using your concealer. I'm gonna grab the Natasha Denona concealer. I really like this formula. I'm just gonna do a little dot right below the eyes to help brighten up the inner corners. I'll do above my lip, in the center of my chin, in the center of my forehead, and then I will also do a thin line right down to the center of my nose. We're gonna blend this out again using our painted sponge, trying to keep that product pretty much where we put it, but just diffusing the edges. When it comes to the under eye, I'm just blending out softly. I'm bringing a little bit of that excess product onto the edges and sides of my nose to help with my nose contour, and then with whatever's left on the sponge, I'm gonna go right up in the outer corner of my eye, blending right underneath that winged liner, exactly where the tape used to be, to create that super beautiful lifted eye look, just like that. Now see how we still achieve that more lifted glam look without having so much coverage on? That is exactly what we want, because that's how we're gonna get that natural looking glam. Next up, we have cream contour. If you wanna keep it super natural, you can definitely avoid this step and just use a little bit of powder. I'm gonna do just a teeny tiny bit using my Fenty Beauty contour sticks, just because I really love this in my glam routine. I'm just gonna do a little line right below the cheeks, just like this. Over here on this side as well. I'll do a tiny little bit underneath the jawline just to help snatch it in photos. A little bit on the edges of my hairline up here. And then I'll do little tiny lines right down my nose contour to help snatch my nose. I'm just gonna go in with a small little blending brush and just start tapping that contour out to create the illusion of a tiny little snatched nose. And I always like to make sure I'm blending it into the front of my eyebrows as well, just to connect everything together. It's gonna look really, really crazy if you have like brown ski slopes on the edges of your nose and then it just stops right here. So you always wanna make sure you connect it into your eyeshadow and your eyebrows, just like that. And then if it ever gets too harsh, just go over it with that same blending sponge. And then of course we wanna make sure the contour we place on the cheek and face are blended out as well. So I'm just gonna do this using a flat top brush. Again, if anything is ever too pigmented, you can literally just go right back in with that sponge and blend it right over top. Ooh, perfect. Same thing on this side. And now it is time for blush. And of course, you already know I'm gonna tell you guys about our painted blush duos. If you do not have these in your makeup collection, they have been the most viral blush launch of 2025. Everyone is obsessed with these, and it is for a reason. $35 for a cream and powder duo. This is literally the best blush formula on the market. The reviews do not lie. You can check the ratings in TikTok Shop. You can check people's reviews on TikTok. Bitches love these, okay? And I am bitches, and so are y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna use the shade Girly Pop for today. It is a beautiful neutral pink, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply this using our J15 blush brush. There's two sides of this brush for a reason. There's one side that has short synthetic fibers, perfect for cream, and then there's this side that has longer, fluffier fibers that is perfect for the powder blush. I'm just gonna do one little dip in because these are extremely pigmented. I will pat off any excess on the back of my hand, and then I will just go in and apply this right to my cheekbones. Just like we were talking about with kind of the different shades of eyeshadow, you can pick and choose your blush shades depending on your skin's undertone, the color of your eyes, or your dress. Girly Pop is a neutral pink, so it's gonna work for literally everybody. But if you have a kind of more warm golden skin, you could use Peach Beach. If you are paler and you have cooler skin, you could use Pink Drink. If you are of a deeper skin tone, you could use Strawberry Daiquiri or Wine Night. Either way, we have shades for literally everybody, but if you do not have a painted blush, you are missing out big time. That is it. Super easy, super soft. I'm keeping it natural. Let's go ahead and set this in place with some powder, because we'll come back to this later on. For powder today, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. I know a lot of you guys have this in your collection. It is one of my personal favorites, and it's a really good lightweight powder, which is perfect for this natural glam. I know some of you guys watching might not use powder at all in your makeup routine, and while that might work on a regular day, you know, at school or at work, I would definitely recommend using at least a little bit for your prom night. That way everything is just set and locked in place and won't melt off your face at night if you are dancing and moving around, especially if it is hot outside. What I'm gonna do is just dip into the powder with my powder puff, but then instead of going right into my face, I'm gonna tap off any excess on the back of my hand. That way we're not going crazy with the powder and it's working it into the puff so it applies evenly. Then I'm just gonna go right in, tapping my under eyes first, because this is where I personally start creasing the most. I will then do the center of my forehead, because if I did not have Botox, that would be where I'd be creasing next. Then I'm gonna really go in and powder my smile lines, honestly using a little bit more powder than really necessary. As you're smiling the entire night, taking your photos and enjoying yourself, you don't want these areas to start creasing because it can get really, really gross. So just apply a little bit more powder there than any excess you can do on your chin, on your cheeks, and the rest of your face. Just finishing up, setting everything in place. And again, we're not gonna bake. We're not going for that fully matte, cakey texture. We just wanna have a really light layer of powder over top of everything. That way it's not going to melt off during the night, just like this. Love, 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 love. Once we're set in place, I'm just gonna lightly go in and reinforce those contours and blushes using powder. Starting off with the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, just a really, really light dusting all over the skin. You definitely wanna look bronze and gorgeous. A little bit on the forehead, maybe a lot of it if you're like me and have a 5 head. Then I'll do a little bit of this on the nose contour as well, just to blend and tie everything together. This is looking so beautiful. You guys, I'm clocked in today. We'll just use a tiny little bit of the powder formula now of our painted blush going in with the other side of the J15 and the other side of the blush. I'm going to tap off any excess because these are extremely pigmented. Then I'm just gonna go in right on the cheekbone, adding on a tiny little bit of color. See, even that I feel like is a little too much blush. I went a little too crazy. Oh, I have blush blindness, I'm sorry.
Pictures will be far away anyway.
That is a good point. When you're taking photos, naturally the camera does kind of erase some of those details. And if you're in the dark, yeah. All of these 13 and 14-year-old girls are gonna have fucking G7Xs in their little purses that they fucking robbed from their mom's credit card. So they are definitely taking flash photos, let me tell you. So in that case, go crazy with your blush because you want that shit to actually show up in photos, okay? That G7X skin smoothing setting, way too high. Can't turn it off. You need the blush.
I wish we had a Facetune AI feature back when I was young. Me too.
Oh, I had Facetune. Those prom photos were edited down boots. Those photos were edited and still looked like that. It was probably even worse. That's crazy. It's up to you whether or not you want to do concealer on your lower lashes. Personally, if I do a winged out look like this, I don't like to, but I have a feeling that most of you guys probably will. Okay, I know that you're once again stealing your mom's credit card and ordering lash serums online from TikTok Shop, so you're trying to flex your eyelashes on all the other girlies in your class, okay? So we'll go ahead and apply a little bit of mascara so you can flex. Again, just a tiny little wiggle. Okay, we don't need to have crazy, chunky, spidery lashes. I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you. Okay, I'm sorry to tell you the news, but it looks bad. Okay, it looks fucking terrible. Put the mascara wand down. Put it down. Next, we're gonna do a thin layer of setting spray. I'm gonna grab my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I love, love, love this formula because it locks everything in place, but also adds a little bit of radiance and dew back to the skin. It is definitely not a fully matte formula, and that is definitely the look that we are going for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a little spritz. I know that this whole routine has been really out of my normal order, and that was for a reason. I wanted to do my eyebrows close to last because I definitely have a habit of making them a little bit dark, a little bit thick. That's fine, okay, it's my personal style, but I know that you guys wanted a natural routine, so by saving them till the end and everything else is already done, we can really easily see while we're filling them in how dark or thick or intense we need to go. So I'm just gonna do a really light feathering just to add in to my tails because the ends are really the only area of my brows that need to be more defined. Everything else is obviously pretty thick. I'm blessed in the brow department. And the rest of the brow, I'm just gonna really lightly fill in using tiny little hair-like strokes, making sure to go back into my spoolie every couple of seconds to brush it through to make sure it's really blended out and doesn't get too dark. There we go. Oh, that's a good eyebrow. Perfect. I'll do the same exact thing on the other side, starting with the tails first, then just lightly making my way inward. And then once they're all filled in, just use your favorite brow gel to lightly lock the hairs in place. Please, I beg of you, do not do the full glue down laminated brow, okay? I understand that it might be trendy now in 2025. You're gonna look back in a couple of years and say, what the fuck was I doing? Take it from me as somebody who regrets my eyebrows deeply. Been there, done that. Do not glue those shits down. Just nicely brush through them. Oh, look at how good those brows look. This is a good glam day. You guys, if I can look this gorgeous today, imagine how good you're going to look on your actual prom night. Like, hello. Okay, let's finish this off with lips. I'm gonna start off by cleaning off any foundation or product that I have left over. For lips, I have a hack for you girlies, okay? I know that you wanna be in glam, so I know that you're gonna pull out your Rhode lip contour, your cute little lip liner, your liquid lipstick, your gloss on top, and I understand the desire of wanting to do like the full glam lip. I am telling you, okay, I'm telling you right now, listen to me, you're going to regret it. okay? 1 hour into the night, you're going to look into the mirror. The corners of your mouth are gonna be fucking crusty. They're gonna serve you your food at prom, and when you finish eating, you're gonna have lipstick all over your fucking chin, and half of it is going to be completely missing, and you're going to be upset at how disgusting your mouth looks. Instead, I have a hack for you. Like I said, you're gonna clean off your lips so they are completely natural and dry. Then we're gonna use a lip liner that is slightly darker than your natural lip color. For me, I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine. You can choose any shade that you want, maybe a pink, maybe a brownie shade, and we're going to ever so slightly overline, okay? Don't go fucking crazy. You're not convincing anybody that you got filler, all right? Just a little teensy tiny bit right outside of your normal lip line so you look a little bit more plump. Oh, look at that. See, like literally so good. You could barely even tell that I overlined the lips. And now we're gonna clean it up with concealer so it's nice and sharp. And now, once it's all lined, instead of applying a cream bullet lipstick, a liquid lipstick, a lip gloss, some crazy lip tint, we're going to just keep the lip liner, but use our natural lip color as the lip shade. And on top, we're gonna apply our favorite lip balm. This is a clear one from Dolce Glow. You can do your favorite tinted lip balm from Rhode, the lip peptides. You can do Summer Fridays, any of your favorite lip balms, even Aquaphor. Just apply a little light layer over top of your lips, and it's gonna give you that beautiful, shiny lip look, but it's gonna be actually comfortable to wear. It's not gonna get crusty, and if it starts to fade away, you can super easily put this in your purse and reapply without it getting disgusting and crusty. See, look at that. The perfect little lip. At this point, we are pretty much done, but I have one last and final step that I wanna do. I'm gonna give my face a quick spritz of some more setting spray. This is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. You can use the Charlotte Tilbury again, or really whatever you have in your collection. You just want to get the face slightly re-wet. And then I'm gonna grab my painted blush one last time and our beauty sponge. What I'm going to do is just grab the rounded side of the beauty blender that we did our foundation with, and I'm just gonna dip right into the cream formula of the painted blush. Now, obviously there's quite a lot on there. That is crazy. So I'm gonna go in and just tap off any excess on the back of my hand. But what I'm going to do is instead of highlighter, I'm going to really lightly tap this cream formula right on the top of my cheekbone where I normally put the glow, and this is going to give the face the most beautiful, radiant, glowing from within sort of blush that it's going to look so stunning in photos and so stunning all night long without having that chunky, glittery highlighter on your cheek. See how as I turn my head, you can just see the reflection of that cream formula? It looks so beautiful and radiant without having that chunky, glittery formula. And on that note, with a couple more spritzes of setting spray, that is our 2025 natural prom makeup look all complete. If I could go back in time from 2025 to 2017 and redo my prom glam, this is the look that I wish I could have done. I think this is so much improved from what I wore. Obviously, trends, products, and times have changed so much, but I truly do think this is a timeless glam that will look good now, and hopefully 10 years from now when you're looking back at the photos, unlike mine. I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video and were able to follow along, especially if you're actually gonna use this makeup look for your prom glam. If you do, please leave me a comment down below, or make sure you tag me in your videos and photos. I would love to see your final makeup looks, and I really do hope that your prom night is magical and special and a night that you will never, ever forget. If you enjoyed today's video and if you like the more in-depth tutorials, I don't do these very often, so please give it a big thumbs up down below. Your love and support really helps out the channel quite a lot, and if you haven't not already, come click that big red subscribe button. We post videos every single Friday at 12 p.m. PST, and would love to have you in the family. As well, click that bell icon next to it so you get a notification just like this every time I upload a brand new video. If you want to follow me on my other social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, just James Charles. My spam account is James Charles LOL. And of course, follow Painted. Our TikTok is just @Painted, and our Instagram and website are painted.co. Thank you for watching today's video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Happy prom!
The thing that really makes it hurt is